Hello. We are live. How are you doing, Michael?
Hi.
Glad to have you here.
Oh, thank you. I'm fantastic, Erica. It's going to be a great time just chatting with you.
It's sunny here, and I meant to put something in front of my window, and I didn't. Sorry.
That's okay.
You can see me shine.
Okay.
All right. So, Michael is the paperback expert and all about credibility. I think this is such a great topic. It's something that, in my opinion, every single person, whether you're an entrepreneur or not, really needs to kind of know and zero in on, be aware of, and probably get into. So I'm excited to have you here today. I'm excited to hear what you have to say. I think that we should all have our own story to tell, and I am dying to hear yours. So can you tell us, I'm not even going to give it away yet, but how you got into this?
Absolutely. Yeah. So, Erica, everything started for me in business the day that I escaped from prison.
Okay? Tell us.
I will. It wasn't a literal prison, okay? It was an emotional prison because I was stuck in a job that I hated at a ministry that I loved, okay? So my wife and I, we've been married 32 years.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you. First 5 years of our marriage were like this because we're complete opposites, all right? And even though we both grew up in church, nobody ever taught us how to be married. So we went to a marriage conference where they showed us God's blueprints for marriage. I didn't know he had blueprints. So we got we started applying it. Our marriage got better. And we started investing into that ministry that taught us all these things. I was in Christian radio, selling Christian radio to business owners, right? Found out they didn't want to buy Christian radio. They wanted to sell products and services. So I had to become really good at marketing. So I bought the books and went to the seminars, followed the gurus, learned how to do marketing for small business owners. About 8 years later, God called us out of that ministry, or out of that radio station, into full-time vocational ministry as missionaries to families to help other marriages. We moved from Indiana down to Little Rock, Arkansas, which is where I'm today, as missionaries with that organization. Thought I was in nirvana. I mean, really, why would I ever do anything else in my life? And so I climbed the corporate ladder. After about 6 years, I was on the leadership team. They started going through corporate reorganizations.
And it's funny that you say it like corporate. I wouldn't really think that when you're talking about like a ministry.
Ministry. Yeah, it was about 350 people at this ministry, and it was big and massive. And so we started going through all these organization changes. After the third one, they rolled out the new organizational chart, and my name was no longer on the leadership team.
Oh,
that's what I thought. So they started shuffling me around the ministry to do different things, and that began what I call my 2-year prison term.
Yes. Okay. And I'll bet a lot of people can relate to this.
Oh, absolutely.
And have been there.
So after 2 years, I talked to my wife and I prayed to God. I said, I got to get out of this place. And the Lord said, what do you want to do? And I said, well, I want to go help small business owners with marketing because they struggle with it. They hate it. I love it. And he said, go. So on January 1st, 2013, I escaped prison and started a marketing consulting firm here in Little Rock. I had one client. I helped him break through some barriers, gain some more clients. He'd refer me to you, Erica. I'd call you. I'd say, Erica, I think I can help you grow your business. We'd meet, have a great conversation. You'd say, Michael, what have you done in the last few years? And I said, well, I've helped build marriages and families at Family Life. And you, that's honorable, Michael. Way to go. Oh, look at the time. I've got another meeting. Let's keep this conversation going another time. Well, that kept happening. I thought, okay, this is not good. I was living on savings. I wasn't making money. I wasn't getting clients. So I knew I had to fix it. So I went back to my church, and on the second floor, I was pacing the hallway one day, crying out to God, going, how do I help Erica? Lord, I know I can. And he gave me the idea to take all of my marketing strategies and put them in a book. And so I did. So I published my book on marketing back in 2013. Then I would call you, Erica, and set an appointment. I'd mail a copy of my book to you. And a week later, when I walk into your office, there it was. My book was on your desk, dog-eared, highlighted, and underlined. You'd read my book. And in that meeting, you'd say, now, Michael, in your book, you said, how do you help me do that? And you'd hire me. And the next person hired me. I started gaining clients. And I thought, this is really cool. Why don't more business owners do this in their marketing? Well, Erica, it's challenging to write a book. This book just about killed me and ripped apart my family. I mean, it was hard work, long night, okay? It's hard to write a book. There's a lot to it. And most business owners aren't writers. And so I went back to my church, got into a Sunday school room, built a spreadsheet that listed every single step it took me to create my book. And then I built
Wait, are you still in the same church that you no longer work with?
No, we left that church about 2.5 years ago. There's a whole story behind that too. Okay. So I built a system to eliminate every single step of that book creation process. So today we work with experts and thought leaders, business owners, and we help them create a book without writing a word to position them as the expert in the eyes of their audience. And then we teach them marketing systems of what to do with your book in your marketing, in your business, to gain clients, get referrals, and grow your revenue. So
I love that.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I love it. I love it. So that was, when did you first, you wrote the book in 2013 and you started marketing it in 2013, same year?
I did. Yeah. I would go to BNI groups because I'm a big believer of going to where the people are. So I was in Little Rock, Arkansas thinking, I've got to grow my business. Where do people meet? I'm like, BNI. So I went to 2 BNI groups on the same day. I remember it was a Wednesday night. I was sitting on the bed in my daughter's bedroom, and I was on the computer looking at BNI groups. There was one that met the next day at 7 a.m. and a different one the next day at noon. I said, I'm going to both. And I remember sitting there, they all stand up, do their dog and pony show for a minute, right?
Did you bring your book?
Did I bring my book? So they got to me and I stood up and I said, I'm Michael DeLon, paperback expert. I help you create your book without writing a word and use it to grow your business. And every head in the place went, what? Because nobody ever heard of this before back in 2013. And I thought, well, that was interesting. Did the same thing at noon and had the same response and picked up a client and thought, I've got something.
I'm onto something.
And so that's where we started, actually, is BNI. And then from there, we've just grown, and we work with business owners across the nation in different countries as well, and help them, because our clients are experts at what they do,
right.
But they're
not necessarily writers.
Not necessarily writers, but they're also seen as a commodity because there's so much competition. So no matter whether you're a coach, a speaker, a financial advisor, an attorney, it doesn't matter. Dozens and dozens of them available. Right? How are you separating yourself? How are you going to go from being an overlooked commodity? Think grocery store shelf, cans of peas, cans of beans, cans of corn. They're on the bottom shelf. Who cares? To being a rebranded, expertly positioned, recognized expert that draws the attention of your ideal audience. How do you do that? That's what we help our clients do, primarily by telling their story through the pages of their book, but then also teaching them our marketing systems where they use their book to gain clients, get referrals, and grow revenue.
I love that. So can you share with us a couple of the secrets? What can you tell us? Like, once they do get their book, what's your favorite way that they can get it out there? Or do you still do it physically, or do you do it digitally now as well?
Totally physically. Yeah. I mean, we publish to Amazon and Kindle, electronic PDF for websites, and in physical. And here's the deal, because everybody asks me that question. Let me ask you, how many ebooks do you think you have on your computer somewhere
that you've never read?
Who knows where they are? But how many books are on your bookshelf? Erica, in our culture, it's sacrilegious to throw a book away. So when I give you a copy of my book, when I mail this to you and I've signed it to you, you're going to keep it. I'm going to become a household name. I'm going to become a reference, a resource for you. How about if I give you 3 or 4 or 5 copies? So let's just say, here are some strategies. You have a happy client. We all have happy clients, right? And we want to multiply. We want to clone our clients. We want people just like our best happy clients. So let's say you're a financial advisor and you've just set up the retirement plan for this client. They're thrilled with you. They never have to worry about money the rest of their life. They're super excited. Erica, would you do me a favor? Well, yeah, of course I would. Well, you probably don't know this, Erica, but most of my clients don't come through all the advertising and marketing you see us doing. They come from the recommendation of our happy clients. And it'd mean a lot to me, Erica, if you would could I just give you 3 or 4 copies of my book? And the next time you're talking with some of your friends at church or at the country club or wherever, and you're talking about finances and retirement, would you just hand them a copy of my book and say, Well, this is the guy we trusted. He wrote a book. You just read his book. Would you do that for me? Well, I'd love to do that. Now, how cool is that? That's how you get referrals, by the way. How cool is it for your client to go, well, my guy wrote the book on retirement planning, right? Versus, here's his business card. Would you take his business card? Nobody wants to do that. Make it fun for your clients to tell their friends, neighbors, relatives, business associates, church members about you.
I love this. So I don't think you can see my book, but it's back there. Anyway, and I've never given it away, the hard copy. So I'm gonna print some out and start doing
yeah. Everybody wants the easy, cheap thing, right? But everybody can do the easy, cheap thing. That's one of the barriers of a book is, it might cost you, $5 to print it and $3 to mail it. Put a note inside of it, sign it. I assure you it will make an impact. If you're trying to get into a prospect, how many people prospect all the time, right? Well, I'm spending thousands of dollars on Facebook and LinkedIn. Why don't you make a list of your top 25 best prospects and build what we call a 5-5-5 approach? Okay.
Ooh, this is good. What's the 5-5-5 approach?
Take it, make a list of 25 of your best prospects. And then divide that by 5. So 5 names at a time. You're going to touch 5 people 5 times in 5 weeks. So when you get your book printed, go to Amazon and buy some of these nice big, they're in multiple colors. They're bubble mailers for books. Mail 5 of these 1 week. Mail 5 of them to those top 5 people, right? And when they get it, they're going to open it up and look, behold, there's your book. And then they open it up and, oh, look, it's signed. You signed the inside of it to them. And it has a nice little thank you note to them. Do you think that's going to get past the gatekeeper?
Yeah.
Do you think they're going to open it?
Absolutely.
Do you think they're going to go, wow, who is this girl? All right, that's number 1. Okay. Now you have a reason to call back. Now you can call them in a few days and go, hi, I'm Erica. I'm calling for Mr. Johnson. I'm the girl who sent him that big gold envelope in the mail. Do you think that's all gone through? How about if you send an email or connect with them on LinkedIn with that big gold envelope saying, hey, did you get that? What you're doing is you're piquing their interest to say, this person's different. And I might be open to a conversation.
Yeah.
What you want to do, you're separating yourself. 5 touches. They can be physical touches, online touches, emails. You structure 5 ways you want to touch somebody. I would say 2 of them should be direct mail related. So a book, maybe another thank you card in the mail. Okay. And if you did that for those 5 people first, and then you just went down 5 people at a time, you build one system and you just replicate it, I will be shocked if you don't end up with 4 or 5 or 6 conversations with your ideal prospect because you're marketing in a different way.
All right. So I have a question that I know people are going to want to know. So what price point does your business need to be at to make that valuable? Because I know that most people are thinking, oh my God, that's so expensive. And I want you to explain more or less why it's not so expensive.
Oh, well, here's my question. Before we ask that, let me ask you this question. Your audience has to, what's the value of one client to you? You have to know that number of first-time transaction and lifetime value.
Exactly.
So if you have a service where your average client can bring you $2,000, let's say, how many of those is it going to take to pay for a book and to pay for these mailings, right? It's not going to take many because you're going to differentiate yourself. And I assure you, Erica, when you mail this to this person, after they've gotten 5 touches from you, do you think they're keeping you a secret from all their buddies that they're having lunch with? They're going to say, check this out. They're going to be a source of referrals and things. And so business owners want to go on the cheap. They do.
What they don't understand though is the cost even of Facebook ads right now has gotten so much higher. And so the big issue with most people is that they don't do those follow-ups. So if you have that great follow-up system, I mean, the cost of the book is one thing, maybe you send a flyer, like you said, a second one, and then the rest is, almost free. The phone calls and the emails or whatever is almost free. If you add that up in the end, say it's $20, say it can't be. No, maybe it's like $15, right? Yeah. So, but the conversion rate on that, I'll bet is so much higher.
It's so much higher. All right.
And like Facebook ads to talk about Facebook ads like a webinar, it's got to be anywhere maybe $11 to $15 easy just to get people signed up to a webinar.
Yeah, which they may or may not.
This is so much more powerful.
Oh, totally, because I've got their mailing address. Okay, so I send the book. Just think about this as when I get done talking with a prospect. Okay, I get all of their information, their mailing address. I immediately send them a Loom thank you, very, very personal, short video. Erica, thanks so much for spending time with me. I'm really looking forward to helping you. I'm going to send a couple things in the mail to you, but I can't wait till our next conversation in a couple weeks, whatever that is, right? Boom. I also then write a physical thank you to them. It arrives in the mail, says thank you. On the back side, it's branded for me. I write their name, I put a postage stamp, and then the inside's blank because I actually write it, and I mail it to them. When was the last time you got a handwritten thank you in the mail?
Yeah. Now, is this B2B or would you do this B2C also?
Both. Oh, absolutely. If I were a financial advisor, let's say, or an attorney meeting with people, I would absolutely do the exact same system. And that's why when we work with clients, it doesn't matter if you're B2B or B2C. It doesn't matter. My systems, my marketing strategies work no matter what you do. Okay? Pause. Included with my thank you, right, is a copy of my, get it, ready? My print newsletter. Do you do a print newsletter? No, I do a newsletter every month. Everybody says, I'm like, really? Is it print or electronic? Oh, it's electronic. How many electronic newsletters do you receive? How many do you read? Where are they? Do they make an impact? You can answer no. That shows up every month in your mailbox. Every month.
That's beautiful.
Okay. So then I mail this. And you're going to get this. Is
this once they are a customer, or this is still before?
Prospects. These are prospects. Okay. Because I want them to be customers. I want to separate myself from everybody else who's doing Facebook ads and LinkedIn ads, and I do those.
And your Loom thank you is thank you for what? For receiving my book that I sent?
No, for investing 45 minutes of your time on that phone call where we were talking about your business.
After a phone call.
Okay. Oh, yeah. After a phone call. This is a prospect. Thanks for investing that kind of time so we can see how I could serve you. I really enjoyed getting to know you and your business. I think you got a lot to say. I look forward to serving you and talking to you again. Have a great day. Okay.
And so the books you send to get that meeting, or you send after that meeting?
I send my books after that meeting.
Okay, so it's people you've already had the 45-minute call with.
That's how we've structured, because we have a whole system. Okay. There's another strategy that says when somebody books an appointment with you. So let's say they book an appointment and your meeting is not for a week, right? In fact, I mailed one yesterday. I've got a welcome and wow kit. Some people call them shock and awe kits. I don't want to shock anybody. I want to welcome you, right? And so we have a welcome and wow kit that is very nice. It opens up. It has lots of information. It has 3 different books in it. It's got some candy in it. I put 100,000 or 100 grand bars in it, the Nestle 100 grand bars, because in my story, I talk about how our clients earn hundreds of thousands of dollars with their book when they market it properly. And so we tie all of this together to make an experience so that when they show up on my call, they're preconditioned to work with me. Okay.
This is awesome.
This is how marketing should be done. A book.
People have gotten so far away from the print.
Because they want the cheap, easy, fast way. And it's like, well, you can do that, but business is done person to person. I don't care if you're B2B or B2C. People hire you.
100%.
Okay. You need to show
But
up.
I'm thinking like even a landscaper type, like a landscaper, would their lifetime value be worth it? I mean, if a landscaper's charging $100 a month or 150, they could charge way more than that. Probably, I'm making up numbers, but let's say 150 a month, say 100 a month. Let's go low. That's still 1,200 a year. And if you are keeping them in your world and going on with them, and then, twice a year, you're adding some extras to that, it would still be worth it in the long run.
Totally. Absolutely. Because how do you pick a landscape?
Differentiate.
How do you pick one? I talk to my neighbors. I see what trucks are coming by, right? I Google it. I don't know. I don't have a relationship with any landscaper because they're commodities. What about if you're the landscaper who wrote the book on how to keep your yard pristine looking, green, clean, be the envy of your neighbors? I wrote the book on that.
Exactly.
Do you think that's going to separate you? Do you think you might be able to charge a little bit more money? Do you think you could have joint venture relationships with guys who install sprinklers and things if you don't do that, or the gutter guy, so that when you've got a client, you say, hey, when I was doing your landscaping, I noticed that your gutters are kind of broke. I've got a guy I'd be happy to introduce you to who can fix that for you. He's really reasonable, and I can vouch for him. You know something? Yeah, in fact, I've got a roofer guy too. And if you ever need a plumber, you build your own little JV network, and now your revenue keeps going up, and your clients see you as what? A resource, a recognized expert that I'm calling to go, hey, you know anybody who's a good car repair shop? Okay, Erica, business owners they've lost it. And what we're trying to do is get back to old school relational marketing, but starting with your perspective of being a credible expert. Now, let me say something really quick. Our company, Paperback Expert, we specialize in helping you create your book without writing a word. At the same time, I have a lot of people coming to me who go, but Michael, I'm either not ready for a book, or I published my book, but I don't know what to do with it. So I've got a coaching program for both of those types of people as well, because you don't have to have a book to build your credibility. It helps, but it's not a requirement. So we work with business owners.
But you can help them build it after they start anyway. So why wouldn't they?
Totally. Well, and when I get a new client for a book program, we give them our coaching program. We include that for free. So it's like a train track. You create your book, and you're in our coaching program, and you start implementing our systems, and your business starts turning around, and you're gaining clients. And it's not unusual for people to be able to generate enough new business in that first 12 months to actually pay for their book. And then now you've got systems and a book, and you're set for life. That's what we want to do, is set you up to market your business for the rest of your career.
The systems in place. That's awesome. So, I'm going to stick our ticker. Hold on, I forgot.
Yeah. But I mean, just paperbackexpert.com is where people can find me. They can find all the information they need from me. They can search, they can see testimonials, they can get free trainings that we've done. It's just all there. And then if they want to have a credibility conversation with me to see if this is something that would work for them or fit it, you can schedule one right there.
That's awesome. All right. So I know in one of the things you talked about, the 3 primary credibility marketing platforms.
Yep. So
what are those?
we always start with your book. Once we have your book created, then we make you an Amazon best-selling author. Then once that's done, we create a podcast for you, because most of my clients don't do podcasting. So you've got your book as your primary, then you've got your podcast, and then we teach you how to do simple, easy video. And
love it.
How many people don't want to do video? But video allows people to get to know who you are. And as does podcasting, video just takes it to a new level.
Yeah, so, having somebody in your ear, that's intimate. I mean, believe it or not.
It really is. And I want to know who you are. And many of our clients that we've created these podcasts for have prospects listening to their podcast, learning, getting to know them. Then they'll schedule an appointment. And by that time, Erica, they're preconditioned to know, you're my person. I just want to make sure that we're a good fit. And you're my person. I just want to make sure that we're a good fit. And you're my person. I just want to make sure that we're a good fit. And you're my person. I just want to make sure that we're a good fit. And you're my person. I just want to make sure that we're a good fit. And you're my person. I just want to make sure that we're a good fit. And you're my person. I just want to make sure that we're a good fit. And you're my person. I just want to make sure that we're a good fit. And you're my person. I just want to make sure that we're a good fit. And you're my person. I just want to make sure that we're a good fit. And you're my person. I just want to make sure that we're a good fit. And you're my person. I just want to make sure that we're a good fit. And you're my person. I just want to make sure that we're a good fit. And you're my person. I just want to make sure that we're a good fit. And you're my person. I just want to make sure that we're a good fit. And you're my person. I just want to make sure that we're a good fit. And you're my person. I just want to make sure that we're a good fit. And you're my person. I just want to make sure that we're a good fit. And you're my person. I just want to make sure that we're a good fit. And you're and that you got the program that fits me and this is the right time. So let's have that conversation, not let's have a sales call. And I'm already sold. I already know you can do what. I just want to make sure that everything. Those are the types of people I want to work with. Right?
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's a different approach to marketing because it's all about your credibility. When you publish a book and you're seen as a credible, let me add, everybody knows like Simon Sinek and Tony Robbins and all these guys, right? Do you think they're out chasing business?
No.
Do you think they negotiate on price?
No.
So a book, a position, being a recognized expert in the eyes of your audience reverses the polarity of your marketing. So instead of you chasing after clients and prospects, they actually start pursuing you. You're getting invited to be on podcasts, to be on virtual stages or real stages because you have something to say and you have something to give people where they can have a 2-hour conversation with you in the intimacy of their home. And as they turn the pages, they're going, I like her. It's emotional. We make decisions emotionally first. Then we find all the logic to back up what I really want to do.
I love this. So I think that all of the, I don't want to say that. I think that a lot of newer marketers out there, they don't know the tried and true, like what marketing is really all about. Yeah. And so going old school is so genius, especially right now, because a lot of people would never even dream of it. Well, but I always talk about like the old school marketing because I think a lot of the newer people know the tactics, but they don't understand the strategies behind it. And if you don't understand those strategies, it doesn't matter how many tactics you run through or try or do, you know, they're not going to work. And a lot of people have gone out there and gotten lucky or done something that has shot them up, but they're never going to build like a real sustainable business that way because it was luck that got them there, but they don't know how to keep it there or how to continue that through the years. And so having those systems in place, like you're saying, and really building that credibility. Your book is from 2013. That doesn't go away. You know, it doesn't go away. You still wrote that book. It doesn't matter what year it was.
That's right. And nobody ever asked, what year did you write your book? Nobody. They said,
right.
You're the author of that? Yeah. Well, by the way, I've written 9 other books, so it's no big deal, right? But you don't have to. It's the fact that you're an author. We can make you an Amazon best-selling author. We can get you media credentials. We focus on building your credibility because we understand what that is. And then teaching you marketing systems. And you mentioned it. Small business owners don't have systems to market their business. And we give you systems. They're not software systems. They're PDF step-by-step guides of how do you create a print newsletter that you can send out on a monthly basis? How do you mail something like the 5-5-5 approach? That's a system that we give you and teach you and help you implement in your business. Once it's implemented, you could just keep adding 5 more people. You could add more if you want, if you have a staff, but 5 is doable. Could you reach out to 5 people this week, Erica, if I gave you a system?
Yeah, and you do your 5, what is it? 5 by 5 by 5? 5 by 5. You do that weekly? Is that what you said, or monthly?
Every week. So you're sending weekly. 5 people. You're touching them 5 times over 5 weeks. So every person gets one touch every week from you. Okay. At the end of 5 weeks, you start a new 5. Or you can mix and match, but
next week you don't start a new 5 and go 5 weeks.
You could if you have the time. Some business owners have more time than money. Others are just really busy. We build systems that are doable and implementable. You can turn the dial up or down on all of our systems based on what you need.
Your time, money, energy.
Totally. But
I love it.
You put something like that in place, mailing things to people, it's going to make a significant difference in your business. You're going to gain more clients. Then when you understand our referral systems, you're going to get more referrals. And then we have systems to open up centers of influence, people who you should be working with who can send clients your way. So if you're a financial advisor, you should be working with like an estate planning attorney. How do you open up that relationship? How do you do that? I've got systems around that. We teach that. That's where the business growth happens. It's not just creating a book. Being an author
Right.
is great, but that's not enough. You've got to understand how to market your business and how to gain clients, get referrals, grow your revenue year after year after year after year.
Make it work for you. Exactly.
That's what we do. That's how we help clients.
I love it. This has been so awesome. One of my favorites so far. So thank you so much for coming on here. Maybe we'll do this again in a couple of months. I'd love to have you on again and hear some more. But thank you so much for coming on. And if anybody wants to get in touch with you, they should go to that paperbackexpert.com. It's scrolling at the bottom. And we will see you soon. Thank you so much.
Erica, thanks. It's been lots of fun.
All right.